Integrative Counseling Approach by Susan Scott. Hello, today I will be presenting an integrative counseling approach with cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, serving as my primary theoretical framework while incorporating elements of solution-focused brief therapy. Presentation content. First, I will discuss the distinctive elements of each of these theories that are most meaningful to me and relevant to my potential clients. As I'm on the school counseling track, my primary clients will be school-age students. Next, I will explain how these theories complement one another in an integrative framework. I will then describe how I plan to combine the techniques and philosophies of each approach in counseling. Finally, I will address how I attend to multicultural issues through the lens of these theories. At the conclusion of the presentation, I will leave you with a question and would greatly appreciate your consultation. Thank you in advance. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. First, I will discuss cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. There are many elements of CBT that resonate with me. I especially appreciate its emphasis on the here and now, rather than spending extensive time and energy focused on the past. Another appealing aspect of CBT is the idea that emotional distress often stems from rigid, fixed, and negative patterns of thinking, and these unhelpful cognitions can directly impact well-being. In conversations with my middle school age students, I often notice a tendency to become stuck on past obstacles and apply negative beliefs to current situations. CBT could benefit young people by building awareness of unhelpful beliefs and intentionally develop more adaptive self-talk when challenges arise. A final meaningful aspect of CBT is its emphasis on a collaborative therapeutic alliance, which recognizes clients as active participants in the process. The shared ownership will be empowering for young people to see themselves as change agents within their own belief system, emotions, and actions. Solution-Focused Brief Therapy, SFBT. I appreciate many aspects of solution-focused brief therapy as well as CBT, particularly its strength-based approach. SFBT places emphasis on the exceptions to clients' problems, shifting the focus toward the strengths and resiliencies individuals already possess. Like CBT, the theory emphasizes becoming aware of our beliefs and recognizing our capacity to shift them, which resonates strongly with me, as it aligns with the idea of personal agency and empowerment. This approach is especially important for adolescents and young people as it supports the development of autonomy, resilience, and a positive sense of identity during a critical period of growth. The ability to shift from deficit-based thinking to strength-based cognitions is a powerful tool for young people as it promotes positive change in both thinking and behavior. When young people learn early on how to draw upon their personal strengths and apply them to current situations, they are more likely to benefit from these skills in future challenges. Complementary integration. These theories mesh well together because they share a present-focused strength-based orientation while addressing cognition from complementary angles. Cognitive behavioral therapy serves as my primary or core theory, providing the framework for identifying, challenging, and shifting faulty beliefs that impact emotions and behaviors. I will then integrate elements of solution-focused brief therapy by helping clients identify exceptions to their problems, recognize existing strengths, and envision preferred futures. Philosophy, knowing, understanding the roots of client concerns. This integrative approach is primarily grounded in cognitive behavioral therapy, which views client concerns as stemming from rigid, maladaptive beliefs that influence emotions, behaviors, and actions. These components exist in a reciprocal relationship, each affecting and reinforcing the others. The antecedent events trigger these beliefs, which then drive unhealthy emotional and behavioral responses. For adolescents who are still developing cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and self-concept, CBT provides a structured framework for identifying, evaluating, and reshaping thought patterns before they become ingrained, helping students build healthier coping strategies and adaptive behaviors. In solution-focused brief therapy, client concerns are understood as stemming from a lack of awareness of one's own strengths and competencies. I plan to integrate solution-focused brief therapy to emphasize that concerns are often maintained by a lack of awareness of existing strengths. SFBT is grounded in the belief that clients are capable problem solvers and that helping them identify what is working or has worked in clients' life fosters adaptive coping strategies. Counselors and clients co-create specific and achievable goals towards a client's preferred future. Together, these theories provide adolescents with tools to examine, challenge, and reshape beliefs and narratives that may be limiting or harmful while substituting more goal-oriented thinking. Technique, the doing, interventions. Interventions I plan to incorporate include educating young clients about the ABC or ABCDE model that explains the relationship between events, thoughts, and reactions. Socratic questioning and reflective exercises may also be used to evaluate evidence and for beliefs. Thought records and behavioral experiments to encourage new behaviors and positive self-talk will also prove beneficial for potential clients. Other interventions include role-playing, value sorting, and homework to reinforce skills outside of sessions. As a school counselor, I will embody a supportive, trustworthy, and respectful presence emphasizing unconditional self-acceptance. I will strive to encourage practice of adaptive thinking and behavior while gently challenging beliefs that do not serve clients in a positive way. Technique, the doing, SFBT interventions. SFBT techniques I will use are exploring exceptions, times when the problem did not dominate the client's life, using scaling questions, miracle questions, and motivational interviewing strategies to help students visualize preferred outcomes, collaboratively taking inventory of clients' resources, successes, and competencies during exceptions, and implementing them toward current situations. I will approach the therapeutic process with positivity, curiosity, and humility, focusing on the client's values, perspectives, and goals as a guide. Slide 10, Adolescent Application. For school-aged youth, the focus will be encouraging awareness of thoughts and beliefs, highlighting strengths and exceptions, allowing exploration and reconstruction of identity. Together, these interventions will help adolescents slow impulsive thinking, challenge negative beliefs, and build adaptive coping strategies. Integrating multicultural issues and concerns with these theories. As a white female, middle-class teacher and mother, I identify as she, her pronouns. I recognize that my social and cultural identities influence the way I interact with clients and approach counseling. My positionality can be both a strength and a challenge. For example, my teaching and parenting experience allow me to connect with adolescents and understand developmental challenges, but I must be conscious about my own assumptions, biases, and cultural perspectives, so I do not impose them on clients from different backgrounds. One strength of CBT is its cultural sensitivity, as it begins with the client's own belief system and worldview, using self-exploration to guide the process. In practice, I plan to explore strengths and challenges related to students' cultural, racial, and ethnic identities to begin the discovery process. Know my own values, beliefs, and biases so I can better understand how they may affect the counseling relationship. Respect clients' core values and belief systems, helping them explore these values and gain awareness of any conflicting feelings. Collaborate with clients to modify selected beliefs and practices in ways that feel authentic and culturally congruent. In solution-focused brief therapy, it naturally supports multicultural work because it emphasizes clients' strengths, resources, and lived experiences. By focusing on exceptions to problems and envisioning preferred futures, SFBT allows clients from diverse backgrounds to define solutions and goals that feel culturally meaningful, rather than imposing externally defined ideas of success or normalcy. In practice, I plan to collaborate with students to identify their existing strengths and competencies within the context of their cultural, racial, and ethnic identities. Use scaling, miracle, and exception questions to help clients articulate goals that are personally meaningful and culturally aligned. Encourage clients to explore how cultural expectations, societal pressures, and community norms influence their perception of problems and possibilities. SFBT's strength-based, client-centered orientation complements CBT's focus on individual cognitions, ensuring therapy validates the client's worldview. Limitations or applicability from a multicultural perspective. From my multicultural perspective as a white middle-class heterosexual female teacher and mother, I recognize both privileges I hold and the ways my experience may shape my counseling. One limitation of using approaches like CBT, specifically REBT, is the negative view of dependency, which can conflict with cultural values that emphasize collectivism and interdependence. In many communities, relying on family, peers, or community members is essential for mental health and well-being, so framing dependency as inherently bad could feel culturally insensitive. Another limitation is the traditional therapist stance, which positions a counselor as the expert. Some clients from diverse backgrounds may defer to authority figures or expect guidance rather than a collaborative process. My positionality could unintentionally influence these dynamics, especially with clients whose lived experiences differ significantly from my own. To address these limitations, I will adapt interventions such as thought records, behavioral experiments, Socratic questioning to honor the client's cultural context. For example, I will explore how their cognitions are shaped by community, family, and cultural expectations rather than assuming purely individual thought patterns. In SFBT, I will emphasize strengths, exceptions, and solutions that are culturally meaningful. Scaling questions, miracle questions, and goal-setting exercises will be framed to reflect each client's values and lived experiences, ensuring that success is defined by them, not by dominant cultural norms. Using these approaches, I will communicate that clients are the experts of their lives, practice cultural humility, and remain mindful of how my identity and biases may influence the therapeutic process. This collaborative, strength-based approach helps ensure therapy is culturally responsive, empowering, and aligned with the client's worldview. Summary. The benefits of an integrative approach using CBT and SFBT: addressing cognition strengths and supporting adolescent development and resilience, encouraging cultural humility and client-centered practice. My question for consultation is: what potential boundary considerations should counselors be aware of when applying CBT and SFBT with adolescent clients? Thanks for listening and providing feedback. Here are my resources. Thank you again.